Matt is with us in Minnesota. Hi, Matt. How are you?
Hi, Dave. How are you doing today?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Just want to say that I'm very blessed to talk to you, and just for all you do for everybody.
Well, thank you. How can I help?
Yeah. So I have a question. Me and my wife, I'm trying not to get emotional here. We've been going through a rough patch for the last year and a half, half a year to a year, regarding finances, and it just seems like we can't ever really agree or come to or meet in the middle, I should say. Just looking at hopefully getting some hope from you today.
What is it you're having trouble agreeing about?
Just like with everything, just with budget, what we want to do, just things like that. Just looking at pretty much just agreeing like where money is going. I'm more of a budgeter. She's not. She's free spirit, and I'm the nerd.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just trying to, like I said, just get some hope because I'm.
How long have y'all been married?
We just celebrated our 4th wedding anniversary on November 28th.
So how old are you? Like in your late 20s?
I'm 30. I just turned 33 the other day, and she's 31.
Oh, okay. All right. So do you have other areas of your marriage that you just don't agree on things?
No, just pretty much just mostly the financial aspect of it. Like, her mom passed away at 48 from breast cancer. And, like my mom and dad never really taught me really about money. My mom and dad used credit cards, and my wife's mom was a single mom. Her dad's an alcoholic. So I think it's just our normal way of living, or hers, I should say. I am trying to change that.
Mm-hmm. So when you guys sit down and talk about this and you say the best way to live our dreams and accomplish our goals is for us to be in agreement on the spending and for the spending not to exceed our income, she's unwilling to do that?
Yeah, she just feels that it's too drastic. She feels like she's being controlled. I just feel like I love my wife with all my heart, but
you know what? I think she is being controlled. I think you're a super nerd and her vote doesn't count.
Mm-hmm. Like I've said, like I've even told her, does this sound okay to you? And she says, yeah. And then a couple days later, she just changes her mind.
Yeah, she wasn't really agreeing. She was just trying to get rid of you.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't really have agreement from her. So there's a couple things going on. It sounds like, from the outside looking in, for 1 minute. So I don't know how good my insight is, but my guess is, after having done this for a long time, that you're a little bit like me in that you're a super nerd, except you're also a tightwad. So you don't like to spend money on anything, and you like to tighten everything down really super tight, and she sees the budget as a way that you are using this to control her, instead of somehow having a conversation where the two of you understand that her vote is equal to yours. Her vote is equal to yours. And not just like, oh, yeah, whatever you want to do, honey, which means I'm going to blow this thing up. That's what that means. She's not going to do anything that she said she was going to do. She didn't really mean it. Yeah, you just do whatever you want to do, that crazy butt stuff you're working on. That's what she's saying, and just waving you off. So instead, you've got to get some emotional involvement to where the two of you can get on the same page. Because as you have found, when you cannot agree on your spending, you've not really agreed on your life. When you agree on your spending, Jesus said your treasure is where your heart is. And when you put your treasure together, and together we decide how we are going to live our life, it creates a unity and a oneness and a level of communication in your marriage. But in order for that to occur, she's got to believe her vote counts, that her voice counts. And you have been the loudest voice in the room on this subject. You're not a loud person volume-wise, but you're taking up all the air on this subject. And so probably you go back and start with, okay, what would you like to do if we were wealthy? And shut up and listen.
Mm-hmm.
and just get her dreaming about what it would be like to have a couple of $1 million. Okay. Now, I think
Right.
I think if we work together, we can have a good life while we pursue that great life. And there's some things we've got to do to get that going, and but we've got to be on the same page, because no one wants to be controlled. No one wants to be in a situation where their vote doesn't count. No one, unless they've got psychological issues. No one wants to live on beans and rice for no reason, just because it's
Mm-hmm.
fun. No one wants
Right.
to live on a scorched earth and never spend money ever for anything. Even a saver enjoys spending money on some things. That's their purpose of saving. So I think that you are such a detailed person that you've got these screws tightened down so tight that she does not feel the room to actually have a vote. And it sounds like if you can't get through this in the next week or two, start talking about what would it be like to have $2 million. Okay, well, how do you think we can get there? Well, you can't get there. Well, I think we can. I think we got to work together. And let's talk about how we can work together, and let's put this down on paper. But you have to really come to the table, honey. You got to really sit down with me, and you got to really talk about this, and you got to really put your wisdom and insight into this too. It's not just me carrying you along. I didn't really sign up to be your daddy. I signed up to be your husband, which means we work together. I don't need a kid that has to be taken care of. And if you can't get past that, you probably need to see a marriage counselor, and you probably need to see a marriage counselor. Anyway, I'm not sure you guys have got the relational skill set to work through this. It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like you've given it a really good run, but try a couple more of those things. But that's how she's feeling, it sounds to me like. It sounds like she feels controlled and like her vote does not count. And so she just waves you off and says, well, whatever you want to do, walks away and goes and does whatever the flip she wants to do. That's not agreement on a budget. And so if you can get agreement on the budget, the only way you're going to get that is there's agreement on the reason we're doing a budget. Is because it's going to take us somewhere towards wealth, so we can be more generous, so we can travel, so we can have a nicer car, so we can be more generous, whatever it is you're going to do, right? I mean, whatever it is that turns you on, that when you get some money someday, you're going to do that. That's what you're looking for. So, hey, thanks for the call.